king will come to Jerusalem in a donkey. That's how Jesus came. But the one that I wanted to focus on is in Daniel. When you're growing up, before finding God, you go through a moment of a lie identity.
In Revelations, he comes back on the white horse, and there's like a fire sword and fire coming from his mouth. And you think about Hey everyone, welcome to the Walk with Armor podcast. We're so excited to be back.
Yes, we are so excited. It's a cold day out here in Nashville. As you can see, we're wrapped up in blankets. It's been cold all around the house for some reason. No matter how long we put the heat, it's been just chilly. We went to the science center yesterday. We took our daughter to the science center to go look at rocks, dinosaurs,
And our son. We have two kids.
Yeah, he was there. He was following us. But no, of course we brought both of them. It was more for her, right? And it was crazy because when we went to she loved everything, but there was a certain section that she just couldn't stand. She couldn't even enter it. She probably walked 5 feet into this section and she bounced crying, running. She just needed to get out of there. But Adonis, he was cool. Like he was a chill just baby walking this section. And it was the body section, where they show you like all these different exhibits, all these different like rooms just showing off body stuff. And she was freaking out. And I kind of like led her to like the wrong spot because there was like a refrigerator, right? It was like a see-through door on this refrigerator. And you can see like a human brain. You can see like a sheep's brain. You can see like a floating cow heart. It's all in jars. But I kind of put it on myself that, I kind of scared her away from that section. But nonetheless, she loved everything else. She just could not be in that section. Yeah. And then like last minute, we ended up going to the planetarium.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it was cool. I haven't been to one in like decades. Maybe like 20 something years. I haven't gone to one since I was like in 6th grade.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've been to one too.
Yeah, I mean, and just like they went into like history and detail of
all the names of the stars.
Yeah, like they were looking at the constellations, all these Greek names and all the history behind it. I'm just like who even came up with this? This is crazy. And then you zoom out. You're looking at your solar system, which is ginormous to us, and then they're zooming out, and then ours is like invisible. It's like so tiny. And we are like looking at a bird's eye view of the Milky Way at this point. And we're looking at the whole Milky Way. And then our solar system, our galaxy is just a speck. That's as if I like grabbed a bunch of sand and threw it all over the floor. And before I did that, I painted one blue. And I'm like, go look for our blue solar system somewhere. It was like literally a hand brush, like God's hand brush was just like, I was just flabbergasted. I was just like thrown away. I'm just like, oh my God. I know everybody talks about it, like there's an infinite universe.
Yeah. But when you like actually like take a moment to like actually think about it, like thinking about like the magnitude of like the earth and like thinking about like the solar system and thinking about like all the billions and trillions of stars
and just looking at it, and it's like God was probably looking at our Milky Way just like, yeah, that's one out of hundreds that I created.
Yeah.
He's the creator.
He is.
Like literally the first few verses in Genesis talk about his creation.
Yeah.
And the fact that we are created in his image says it all. I was listening to something earlier this week where it was talking about identities, right? Mm-hmm. In life, you're trying to look for your identity. And this guy had a play on words. He kind of had like a really cool thing that he was talking about. He was like, when you're growing up, before finding God, you go through a moment of a lie identity. A lie identity is kind of like you're not enough. You know, you're trying to like see where you could fit in, and you're trying to like capture a little bit of stuff from everybody, and
Like confusion.
you're confused. You know, you're kind of shaped by your environment. You know, you grow up in a bad neighborhood, you're around bad people, you kind of become a bad person. So you're in a lie identity, right? You're kind of like, I don't know, am I enough? Like, I don't think I'm enough, so I have to take something from them. And then he talked about when you mature a little, you go through something called um a my identity. So first you're going through a lie identity, right? You're just I'm not enough, so I gotta take things, and I'm lying. Like this is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
This is not me. And then a my identity basically is it's like a fake identity. We create it ourselves. We make others think we are something we are not. And we just go through these motions and we build this thing. And some people build it so high up, they can't even see their real selves anymore. They're just like, I already went decades like this, creating this my identity.
That's oh my gosh. I just like learned what like the actual word was in psychology. It's like when you like put on a mask, like you only allow people to see what you want them to see.
Yeah, I
but
remember you
there's
telling me.
something underneath the mask,
Yeah,
like your true identity.
that's a perfect example because the lie identity and the my identity are always going to be the fake you. But God, he pulls the I identity. Because in Exodus, he says, I am that I am. He is and always will be.
Yeah.
And that's where you find your true identity.
Do you feel like the point in life where you are right now, 31 years old, right? That's how old you are.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you know who you are in
No.
Christ? No?
I'm not there yet.
That's interesting.
A lot of people got to be in that position, right? Like I grew up a certain way and now I'm in a corporate world. So now I kind of have to shape myself a certain way. And then finding God, that's where you finally find the real purpose and the real meaning and the real good things in life.
Yeah.
But it's a process. You don't just find Christ and then boom, you fulfill your purpose.
Yeah, because sometimes even when you're like walking in your purpose, you know, the enemy tries to like plant these like little seeds that you have to kind of like pick up and throw away. Like he tries to like say, oh, well, are you sure that this is your calling? And starts like polluting your mind and making you question certain things. And then you have to take a step back and be like, actually, yeah, devil it is. So.
Yeah, I was actually talking to somebody this week and they were kind of talking about how they went to a church and they had a radical change and it changed their entire life in a good way. But then after like 5-6 years going to that church where they thought it was perfect, they started attending a different church just for location purposes. They were like, oh, this is kind of far, I'm gonna go here. And they were like, man, I didn't realize how much like hurt I was getting from that first church, that I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
But it's like the new church was pulling thorns out of my side. Like they were like revealing stuff to me, bringing things to light
like
that I was like
exposing things.
Yeah, that I thought it was perfect before, but now actually listening like from a different person, that perspective, I'm like, oh my god, it wasn't that perfect.
Yeah.
So it's just pulling things from you, and it's you start tapping into that purpose, that tapping into what you're really here for and what you really want to do, which is at the end of the day, whatever you do, as long as you're serving God, as long as you know, artists, there's artists out there, there's so many of you out there that are so talented, you could make that into serving God.
Yeah.
You know, and I've written something right here that says, what's for me, no one can take it away. What's not, no one can bring it to me. And if they could, I wouldn't want it anyways. So what's for you, no one can take away. God's purpose is going to make its way to you no matter what. I saw a quote the other day that was talking about Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
One of the most famous names you can say. I could talk to my grandfather about Michael Jordan. He knows who Michael Jordan is.
You sure about that?
Probably not, but Michael Jordan is mega famous. And there was a period in time where Michael Jordan was doing baseball, right? And he just was trash. He just wasn't making it. He was an average baseball player. You know why? Because his purpose was basketball. He excelled and was great in basketball. So people like me and you, for example, me, I'm in the tech field. Who knows if I'm Michael Jordan in baseball? You put me in another setting, what my purpose is, I can excel and I can be great at it, but I don't know until I get presented that. What's for me is for me. Maybe I haven't stepped into it yet. But that's kind of like the saying of that quote. Like, Michael Jordan, best of the best of the best, number one of all time in basketball. But in baseball, mediocre. People might be in their mediocre purpose.
Like you singing One Direction.
Is that my mediocre or is that my...
That's your mediocre.
One day we're gonna do a karaoke mix on this channel, and I gotta show off my skills. I don't have much, but
I wanted to go back to how we were talking about like the stars, right? And God being so like great.
mm-hmm.
Because when you think about like stars, you think about the sun, right? And when you think about the sun, you think about like how it like radiates light. And what is God like to the world? He's light. And what is his glory? When you think about glory, what's glory?
Light?
Yeah. And when you think about like the weight of glory, like just thinking about that alone, there's a Greek word, and I hope I'm not mispronouncing it. We might have to like look it up later, but it's kabod, and it means the weight of something. And the reason why I wanted to bring that up was because
Honor, splendor, majesty, and value.
yeah, literal meaning weight or heaviness. So when you think about God's glory, there's like a weight to it. There's like a heaviness to it. And I wanted to bring up a few verses because when you're thinking about like the different people in the Bible that they don't really necessarily get to see God's face because his face is so bright and they all like bow down in like awe of what they're seeing, like they're responding to it. Like one of them is Ezekiel. If you want to pull up Ezekiel 1:28, and then also Abram in Genesis 17:3. And I never really like thought about God's glory in this perspective until I read that book, The Awe of God, that your small group leader had like mentioned to you, and then you never read it, and then I took over and I read it. Remember that? But if you want to read the first verse, and then I'll read the second one.
I'm on like page 10, so I'm gonna get there. Wait, the first one?
Yeah.
So Ezekiel 1, chapter 1, verse 28. All around him was a glowing halo, like a rainbow shining in the clouds on a rainy day. This is what the glory of the Lord looked like to me. When I saw it, I fell face down on the ground, and I heard someone's voice speaking to me.
See, and you notice how he says, I fell face down to the ground. He's responding to his glory. His glory is like so bright, so beautiful, so like indescribable that all you can do is just like bow down and like tremble in awe.
You were saying Genesis 1:17?
Genesis 17:3.
Oh, 17:3. Okay.
And then same thing. At this time, Abram fell face down. Then God said to him, this is my covenant with you. I will make you the father of a multitude of nations. So just like highlighting the point of taking account like all of those who fall down to their face when they're like in God's presence because it's just so bright. And when I was reading the book, it taught me that word kabod, the weight of something, and how like no flesh can look at God unveiled and live.
I think that's what he told Moses too.
Yeah. Like if you see my face,
you will surely die.
You surely die.
Yeah.
And so when I think about that and I think about like you know, like when Jesus is going to come back, right? Like the way that they explain it in Revelations, he comes back on the white horse and there's like a fire sword and fire coming from his mouth. And you think about that. And when you think about fire, you think about glory and like brightness. And so it's like, I feel like when Jesus comes, everything is going to like disintegrate.
I mean,
like the stars are like going to be like not even visible anymore. The sun, because Jesus is going to be so bright, he's going to be like the light that we're all like staring at.
Yeah, he is the one. I mean, there's I don't know if anybody does any research on this, but Jesus has to be the one and only. All these religions out there,
Yeah.
you know, I can respect you and your life, but I'm sorry to tell you, your religion is not real. Your religion is fabricated. It's man-made. The Bible shows prophecies that Jesus fulfilled, over 300 prophecies from the Old Testament.
Yeah.
And it's the only religious book that talks about the future. It mentions the future. And I just found this out like recently.
Mm-hmm.
One of the prophecies that were so accurate, I mean, there's a bunch of them, but I just want to point out one. Matter of fact, I'll point out two.
Can I guess it?
What?
I don't know if it's going to be the one you want to bring up, but if it's not, I want to bring it up.
What is it? What do you have? What prophecy do you have?
In the book of Isaiah.
Oh.
Do you know what part I'm talking about?
Like
it was so...
Like he was going to get punished and... Yeah, it was very, very detailed.
It was like, yeah, very like detailed about like in his transgressions and pierced skin and stuff like that. If you Google it, it'll probably come up.
Yeah. I think I know exactly which one you're talking about. But the one I was trying to bring up, because we could touch on that one another time. One of them is in Zechariah, where, you know, this is a pretty easy prophecy to make. But in Zechariah 9:9, he talks about this is 500 years before Jesus. But he talks about that the king will come to Jerusalem in a donkey. That's how Jesus came. But the one that I wanted to focus on is in Daniel chapter 9, 20 to 26, right? And the reason why is because they literally pinpointed it down to the month of Jesus, his era, right? Of him getting crucified. Because he got crucified in the month of Nisan. And that on the Jewish calendar, that's April. He got crucified on Passover. And we'll touch on Passover in a bit, but if I pull up Daniel 9, verse 20, the title is Gabriel's Message About the Anointed One. And I'll read this. I went on praying and confessing my sin and the sin of my people, pleading with the Lord my God for Jerusalem, his holy mountain. As I was praying, Gabriel, whom I had seen in the earlier vision, came swiftly to me at the time of the evening sacrifice. He explained to me, Daniel, I have come here to give you insight and understanding. The moment you began praying, a command was given, and now I am here to tell you what it was. For you are very precious to God. Listen carefully so that you can understand the meaning of your vision. A period of 70 sets of 7 has been decreed for your people and your holy city to finish your rebellion, to put an end to their sin, to atone for their guilt, to bring in everlasting righteousness, to confirm the prophetic vision, and to anoint the most holy place. Now listen and understand. 70 sets of 7 plus 62 sets of 7 will pass from the time the command is given to rebuild Jerusalem until a ruler, the anointed one, comes. Jerusalem will be rebuilt with streets and strong defenses, despite the perilous times. After this period of 62 sets of 7, the anointed one will be killed, appearing to have accomplished nothing. So I did a little digging, right? And on the Jewish calendar, they go by sevens. Every 7 years, they call it a sabbatical year. So on the 7th year, they cut it off and they're like, okay, this 7th year, we're going to just do agricultural. Or I think they take away agricultural. So it talks about, altogether, it says 7 weeks, which is 49 years, right? Because they're doing 7 sets. 7 times 7, 49. And then the 62 that they mention is 434 years, because they don't call it years, they call it weeks. 49 years, 62 times 7, because they're going by the 7 sets, 434 years, and then just 1 week is 7 years. So a week is 7 years. So altogether, that's 483 years, right? So from the time of Daniel, 483 comes Jesus' crucifixion year and down to the month, which was crazy finding that out.
Yeah.
The fact that they put the numbers in this verse to future show on 33 AD, there will be the anointed one that will get killed for our sins, and it's going to appear like he did nothing for us. That's exactly what happened to Jesus.
Yeah.
That is one of the most detailed prophecies that I have ever seen.
Stumbled across.
Yeah.
God is really big on details. Like, it kind of like, sometimes I'm just like, how, God? Like, I don't understand how you did that.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that even the Exodus, how Passover was created, the angel of death was coming. They had to slaughter a pure lamb and then put the blood of the lamb on their doorstep so the angel of death could pass over. And just the fact that he got killed on Passover. You cannot write that. You cannot plan that. How can you possibly be in the inner workings of the whole entire city, the whole entire empire of Rome and be like, hey, can we kill this guy on Passover Day? Because the Romans weren't Jewish. They didn't celebrate this. For them, it was just another day.
Yeah.
So just the fact that we got to, I wasn't there to witness it, but we got to have our version of the pure lamb to get slaughtered and for his blood to be put on our metaphorical door. So God is in the details, and another detail that he's in is he just made Conor McGregor come to Christ. I mean, that's a big win. I just want to tell you the magnitude of this one person.
Yeah.
This guy changed the whole mixed martial arts world. And he's reached international, like he's gigantic. And the fact that he's following God is like, oh my God. That's a huge win in our book. Can we get more high level athletes, more high level musicians, more high level?
Even my mom's favorite, Daddy Yankee.
Daddy Yankee.
He made a whole album like dedicated to
you gotta see the video that he put for Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Because he was, he's doing the Super Bowl, and he was like the biggest stage, or what is it? I forgot what he said, but he said the biggest thing Bad Bunny could do is not the Super Bowl, but to give his life to God. I'm just like, this guy, rompe, pose,
gasolina.
This guy.
Hey, the Lord can use anything.
He's using him, and people are following. I think people literally turn to God because Daddy Yankee's not following God.
Probably.
I mean, I love that though. I love that.
Hey, it's like, like in Mean Girls when like they copied everything that Regina George did, and like even that time when they like cut the holes in the shirt with the bra showing, and then everybody was just like walking around. That's exactly what that's like.
That's literally a full circle of the lie-identity.
Yeah.
And the my-identity. You're taking from other people. That's exactly what it is. Regina George didn't take from anybody because she found her identity, but her identity was like rooted in evil. Like,
she needed Jesus.
And we all do. We're actually gonna.
I need Jesus. You need Jesus. Casper needs Jesus.
Casper needs Jesus soon because he's 11 years old. And, you know, he's coming up.
That's really sad.
But we don't got to think about that because it's going to be a long time, you know. Casper got plenty of time. He's in good hands. But we're actually going to wrap it up there. I mean, we just wanted to touch on a few things that we wanted to bring up this week. You know, we got a couple more things, but we'll save that on the next one. And just hope you guys have a great week, great holidays. You know, spend a lot of time with family. Stuff your faces with food.
Make gingerbread cookies.
Gingerbread cookies, whatever. What is it? I don't know. Candy canes are pretty big around, right?
Yeah,
they do
candy
like
canes are whack compared to all the other treats that are out
well,
there.
not Starbucks doesn't think so because they're having mint coffees and candy cane crushed on like cookies.
Yeah, not into that.
Okay, whatever. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed.
We love you. Have a blessed week.